The morning rain had just stopped when Daniel Carter stepped into the small corner cafe, his jacket damp, his hands rough from years of work, and his heart heavier than the clouds still hanging over the city. He did not know that the woman sitting by the window, dressed in quiet elegance, was about to reopen a chapter of his life he had buried under sacrifice, regret, and sleepless nights. He also did not know that fate, patient and relentless, had chosen this exact moment to collide two very different worlds that once shared the same dream. Before we go deeper into this story, take a moment to pause. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet miracles life brings when we least expect them, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Daniel was a struggling single father, the kind you rarely notice unless you look closely. He woke before dawn every day to prepare his 8-year-old son, Ethan, for school, packing lunches with whatever he could afford and tying shoelaces with hands that had grown clumsy from exhaustion. His life was a cycle of construction shifts, late-night delivery jobs, unpaid bills, and the constant fear that one unexpected expense would collapse everything he had worked to hold together. His dreams had once been vast and colorful, but now they existed only as distant memories he revisited during rare quiet moments. Years ago, Daniel had been full of promise. He had loved deeply, fiercely, and without caution. Her name was Sophia Bennett, the girl who laughed at his terrible jokes and believed in his potential more than he ever did himself. They were young, ambitious, and certain that love alone could conquer the world. But life had other plans. When Daniel's wife passed away suddenly years later, leaving him alone with a newborn and a mountain of responsibility, survival replaced romance, and hope became a luxury he could no longer afford. Sophia had left the city long before that tragedy. Daniel never knew why she disappeared from his life so abruptly, only that one day her messages stopped, her number changed, and the future they had planned dissolved without explanation. He told himself she had chosen success over him, that some people were meant to move on while others stayed behind to endure. Over time, he trained his heart not to ask questions that had no answers. That rainy morning, Daniel entered the cafe only because Ethan's school bus was late and he needed a moment to rest before his next shift. The cafe smelled of coffee and warm bread, a brief comfort in a harsh routine. As he waited in line, counting coins in his pocket, he felt something strange, like a memory brushing against his spine. He looked up, and there she was. Sophia sat by the window, sunlight breaking through the clouds to frame her face. She looked different, yet unmistakably the same. Confidence replaced the uncertainty she once carried, and her presence seemed to command the space around her. Daniel's first instinct was to turn around, to retreat back into the safety of anonymity, but his feet refused to move. Life had taken so much from him already, and something inside whispered that this moment mattered. He took a seat at a distant table, unsure whether she had noticed him. Memories flooded back uninvited. Late-night walks, shared dreams scribbled on napkins, promises made under stars they believed would guide them forever. The pain of the past tightened his chest, not with anger, but with a longing so deep it surprised him. What Daniel did not know was that Sophia Bennett was no longer the girl who once struggled alongside him. She was now the CEO of a rapidly growing tech company, a self-made millionaire whose name appeared in business magazines and conference headlines. Success had found her, but it had not erased the weight of the choices she had made. Leaving Daniel had been the hardest decision of her life, driven by family pressure, opportunity, and fear. She had carried the guilt silently, convincing herself that he deserved someone better than the chaos she was entering. Their reunion was quiet and awkward, filled with cautious glances and hesitant smiles. There were no dramatic confessions, only the unmistakable recognition of two souls who once knew each other completely. Time had changed them, but it had not erased the connection. Sophia noticed the weariness in Daniel's eyes, the lines carved by responsibility, and the humility in the way he carried himself. Daniel noticed her composure, her grace, and the sadness hidden beneath her success. Over the following weeks, their paths crossed again and again, not by coincidence but by something gentler and more intentional. Sophia learned about Ethan, about the nights Daniel skipped meals so his son could eat, about the dreams he had quietly surrendered. Daniel learned about the loneliness that came with success, the pressure of leadership, and the regrets Sophia had buried beneath achievement. Neither of them spoke of money or status. What mattered was the honesty they found in each other's presence. Change did not come suddenly. It arrived in small, almost invisible ways. Sophia helped Daniel find a better job, not as charity, but as recognition of his intelligence and work ethic. Daniel, hesitant and proud, accepted only after realizing it meant a stable future for Ethan. For the first time in years, he slept without fear of eviction notices or unpaid bills haunting his dreams. Ethan, who had grown up too fast in the shadow of hardship, found in Sophia a warmth he had missed since his mother's passing. She never tried to replace anyone, she simply showed up, consistently and sincerely. Daniel watched his son laugh more freely, and something inside him healed just a little. As Daniel's life steadied, he confronted the weight of his past. He realized that struggle had not diminished him, it had shaped him into someone resilient, compassionate, and strong. Sophia, too, faced her own transformation. Success had given her power, but love gave her purpose. Together, they learned that second chances are not about rewriting history, but about choosing courage in the present. Near the end of this journey, when life finally felt less like survival and more like living, Daniel stood in the same cafe where it all began. The rain was gone, replaced by clear skies and quiet hope. He understood then that some meetings are not accidents, and some love stories are simply paused, waiting for the right moment to continue. If this story has touched your heart even a little, please take a moment now to like this video, share it with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps keep these emotional stories reaching people who need them most. Please comment below and tell us if you believe people deserve second chances in love and life. Daniel and Sophia did not build a perfect life, but they built a real one, rooted in honesty, resilience, and forgiveness. And sometimes, that is the greatest success of all.